I have watched every single video TanqR has made on Roblox Rivals trying to answer one important question. What are the secrets to his success? And I have identified 5 key features that make him one of the greatest players on the game. The first thing that stood out to me is that TanqR can always anticipate what his opponent was going to do. This means he can already be aiming and sometimes pre-firing, allowing him to get kills quickly. If you wanted to learn this yourself, it's probably one of the easier skills to master because you will naturally pick it up the more you play. The next thing that TanqR has also nailed down is a flawless understanding of each map and its unique features for movement and attacking. This not only allows him to use the techniques himself, but he also knows what his opponent is going to try and do, often before they know themselves. He probably doesn't even think about doing these things as, well, in his videos he doesn't really appear to be sweating with concentration, but you yourself can learn this by focusing on just one map at a time and consciously taking note in your mind of what your opponent does and what you can do to counter their plan. Take the docks map for example. Nearly every time TanqR plays this map, he uses one of just a few tactics, that being backstabbing on ladders, freeze ray on yellow roof, or outmoving his opponent with double jump items like bow, daggers and fists. There are methods like this for every map, so if you want a separate video going through them, let me know in the comments. And the last point for this one is that he understands the weapons. He knows what to consider for each map, and then he'll fine tune his loadout to respond to what his opponent is using.
It's all about evaluating their playstyle and loadout, and then that is how you master the trolling.
He will never be seen using only the same set loadout, and sure, that's because he owns every weapon and helpfully is also godly with every weapon, but you can easily do the same. For example, if your opponent is using RPG, maybe don't use the riot shield.
Today's video is brought to you by the subscribe button. Now it's time for a quick word from a very real subscriber. Oh, subscribing! Yes, I do love subscribing. It makes me feel awfully good inside.
Now, I can already see you all commenting, well duh, obviously aim, but hear me out, because while TanqR obviously has better aim than I certainly could dream of, he has said himself that it isn't perfect. The standout feature of his aim is his flicks opposed to tracking. If you don't know, flicks are quick changes in where you are aiming rather than following a moving target smoothly. TanqR is insane with sniper and bow, and that's because they are both designed for flicking, not tracking, which plays to his strengths, something that we can all do. Having said that, even though he says this,
I guess we're playing some tracking popcorn. I mean, I need this to be honest, because my tracking is awful. They're actually so lucky I've never trained tracking because it literally makes my arm want to fall off.
He does still drop clips like the one you're seeing where his tracking is stupidly good, which slightly defeats the point here.
And he's left the game.
Interestingly though, that is TanqR saying that he does actively train flicks, which should prove to you all that he isn't just blessed with the wrists of a god, he does practice and work on his skills, which is why he is one of the best players in the world right now. You can train this yourself on an aim trainer like Aim Labs, or you can simply jump into a few free-for-all matches in Rivals and practice flicking onto opponents or tracking them. I'm not sure exactly how TanqR does it, but if you think about all the diamond rap videos he has made, that guy must genuinely play 500 matches a day when he's recording a video, so with enough repetition I'm sure anybody could become godly at this game. We touched on this in the first point, but this is probably the biggest thing besides aim that makes TanqR so good. TanqR's ability to consistently outmove his opponents is one of his best traits, because even when playing against a mobile RPG user who usually I would get mad at and leave, TanqR is able to move around them easily, dodge their attacks and finish them off in whatever troll manner he is doing on that particular day. This ties in with the understanding of maps and players, but the fact that with certain loadouts he can basically fly gives him a huge advantage. Movement is just one thing that a lot of players have mastered as well. There's no excuse for you not training it. Just spend 10 minutes on TikTok if it hasn't been banned yet, and you will see a regular user like you or me dropping some filthy movement clips, so it is definitely achievable. There are many weapons that TanqR uses to have this mobility, but if you notice, the vast majority of the time, whatever loadout or weapon he is maining, he will always have at least one item that gives him double jump, or at the very least dash, so I recommend you do the same. Daggers are my favourite choice, but it's up to you. Bow and fists are both good options. Now usually when TanqR is playing, he is trying some stupid troll strategy or whatever it is for that video, and sure, that's because he is so good that if he was actually trying, he would just win 5-0 every game. But no matter what he's doing, he's always laughing and relaxed and chill, and let's be real, we both know that we don't play rivals like that. I'm speaking for myself here, but I'm usually locked in when I'm playing, which can lead me to raging and also potentially breaking my keyboard a bit. If you just let that go, accept it's a game and that some people will be better than yourself, you will not only play better, but you will enjoy it more. And that's what TanqR does every game. Even when he's against a hacker, he still remains cheerful because he knows that it's supposed to be fun.
Hey, it was bound to happen at some point.
This is obviously easier said than done, of course. When you lose to toxic opponents, it's enough to even make Jesus think some thoughts. But I'm sure that a maths nerd somewhere can prove to me that the angrier you get, the worse you perform. I'm sure that the first time TanqR played a shooter game, he was better than I will ever be. But I'm also sure that the first time he played a shooter game, he wasn't close to the skill he has now. So yes, obviously there is a portion of TanqR's ability that can't be learnt. But over years of practice and playing, he has definitely improved dramatically, and the same goes for anyone. This is a clip of TanqR's first Arsenal video. Now, I don't think this was his first FPS game, in fact I'm fairly sure it wasn't, but it shows that while he was good, he did still miss shots and he was far from perfect. Most people watching now won't do any of these things that I've suggested, and that's fine because this isn't a tutorial video and not everybody has to want to be a pro, but I do hope that you found it either useful or entertaining. So if you want to watch another video from me, there is one on screen right now. So thank you very much for watching, and as TanqR famously said,
leave a like and subscribe in the next 3.2 seconds or this delinquent will wake up in your bed. I know I'm not taking any chances.